Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a tremendous hour, just about out of time for Bruce Pritchard. Michael Hayes has got the belt. Everybody, and welcome to the Universal Wrestling Federation. I'm Jim Ross, and I want to welcome along my special guest, color analyst, Ted DiBiase, here on the program. Teddy, thanks very much for being with us.
Jim, it's always a pleasure to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a lot of exciting things to talk about. We've got an outstanding television program for you. We'll be talking about the big two-ring battle royals in the hour. Teddy, a lot of money on the line in those.
A lot of money and a lot of prestige, and wherever those battle royals happen to be, you can always count on a freebird or two being there, and that's reason enough for me and Doc to be on the scene.
And ladies and gentlemen, also regarding the freebirds, this belt situation, I've seen your back. A long time after that incident, the whelps are still there.
Well, put it this way, Jim. I'm wearing my Levi's all the time now, not because it's fall and it's that season again. It's because when I wear Levi's, I always have to wear a belt. And I'm not going anywhere these days, Michael Hayes, without a belt.
I think that's a pretty pointed message, and I think Michael will surely understand that particular statement. Also, ladies and gentlemen, in this hour, we will review the very controversial UWF Heavyweight Championship situation. I have never been around a situation where I've looked at so much film as we have in the last week.
It's really something. You know, that was a hard-fought battle, and my heart really went out to my partner, my good friend, Dr. Death. He felt like he had the title in his hands. I was watching. I thought he'd won, too, and it was just a real tough decision.
We'll talk about that situation. We have reviewed the tape. We'll talk about that in the hour. Also in this hour, Terry Taylor defending the television title, Teddy, against the one-man gang.
I'll tell you what, that's going to be a battle. That's a whole lot of man for Terry to handle, and you know the way the ratings are right now, I'm slotted at number 4. Terry Taylor being the champion is number 1 in line for the UWF shot, but it could come down to maybe Terry Taylor having to wrestle me should he get past the one-man gang, and if that situation arises, then Terry and I have talked this over. We're good friends, but when that bell rings, we're professionals. We've got to go for the money.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll also have Valet for a day footage. We'll see Chavo, Guerrero, and the Iceman in action, but right now, let's go to ring announcer Mike Wilson.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first from Dallas, Texas, at 230 pounds, Jeff Raitz. And from New Jersey at 230 pounds, Jumpin' Joe Savoldi. This match, 1 fall or 10-minute time limit.
Jumpin' Joe Savoldi will take on young Jeff Raitz here in our first matchup on the Universal Wrestling Federation. I think this should be a very scientific battle. Both these young men prefer the scientific catch-as-catch-can style. And we get a lot of letters, Teddy, from people, fans around the country that like to see a good scientific matchup. Here's 2 young men on their way up. What better way to make the fans happy and to see who the better man is, Jeff Raitz or Joe Savoldi, by matching them here on the Universal Wrestling Federation.
Nobody appreciates a good scientific match more than I do, because that's my style, Jim. You know that. And you got 2 young men that have come into the UWF. A lot of good young athletes coming into the UWF. So we're fastly becoming the hotbed of professional wrestling, and everybody's kind of fighting for a notch on the ladder. And these 2 young men are both very well-conditioned athletes and both very game for the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, so many big events, big spectacular cards with so many matches, so many great confrontations coming up this week. This Sunday at 2 o'clock in the Myriad in Oklahoma City, one of the most outstanding lineups in the history of Oklahoma. Nice move by Jumpin' Joe Savoldi. Also, this Tuesday night in Little Rock at the Arkansas State Fair. Tickets still on sale at the Tee to Green Golf Shop, and also the Arkansas State Fair box office. That kicks off at 8 o'clock this Tuesday night. Also coming up in Biloxi, Memphis, Tennessee, Springfield, Wichita, Kansas City, here we come, and back in Wichita Falls, Texas in the next few weeks as well. Near fall there, Jeff Raitz, a young man. I think he's a rookie, quite obviously. He will have the disadvantage as far as experience is concerned, Ted, but sometimes in these scientific battles, the experience really is kind of negated when you talk about speed and quickness and technique, and that's what we're seeing here now.
Yeah, a lot of times a young wrestler even though he may be well conditioned, you know, he's so aggressive that he oftentimes isn't thinking as calmly as he should be. He's not keeping his poise as well as maybe a more seasoned veteran would. Joe Savoldi, I know, is a second-generation wrestler like myself. His father, Angelo Savoldi, was a junior heavyweight champion of the world, wrestled in the same era as my father. As a matter of fact, I think they wrestled each other. So he comes from the same type of background that I do, and I know that his heart is all for wrestling.
I wholeheartedly agree. He's a fine young man. Arm twist by Jumpin' Joe Savoldi. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, in this hour, as a matter of fact, coming up next, we will talk more about the UWF Heavyweight Championship situation, I guess we could say. We'll have that in the next segment here on the UWF. We're going to replay what happened last week and talk a little bit about that and get an official ruling. Jeff Raitz a little bit hesitant as he's attempting to take over on Jumpin' Joe Savoldi, and Jumpin' Joe jumps in and jumps out of the ring, and a chop. Ooh.
Great agility.
I thought he had him right there near fall.
I thought he did too. Good drop kick.
Raitz now taking a little bit too much time to make the cover. He had Savoldi down there a second. Savoldi now taking back over on Jeff Raitz.
In a sport as fast-moving as wrestling, Jim, as you know, you can't take time to think. It's got to be reflex, or you've already lost it.
Instinct, I think, too, as well. And
it's like my dad used to tell me, if you're running down the road and you trip and fall, you don't think about putting your hands out there. You just do it on reflex.
Oh. Savoldi was in a pinning predicament, but now he's got Raitz wrapped up and reversed it. And Jumpin' Joe Savoldi with a victory. Raitz had him wrapped up, but Savoldi's experience, I think, really paid off there. Savoldi with a victory, and Ted DiBiase and I will be right back and take a close look at the UWF Heavyweight Championship situation after this timeout. Welcome back to the Universal Wrestling Federation, everybody. A lot of action coming your way. But in this segment, we want to focus on the very controversial situation surrounding the Universal Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship. If you were with us here last week, you saw a tremendous battle between Steve Dr. Death Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy. And Teddy, I know that you and Doc have looked at the tape of this situation over and over again. So have we, and so have the officials. And the basic ruling was, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that both men had their shoulders up when the counts were made. What made it even more controversial was the fact that both referees were counting. A lot of controversy here. What are your thoughts on it at this point in time?
Well, I think that, you know, both referees at that time thought that they were right, and it was obvious. Doc and I looked at it together over when it happened the first time. I thought he'd won the belt. Right. And by looking at it, we both had to admit that both shoulders were up. In all fairness to both men, they both had a shoulder up, so there was no pinfall.
I'll tell you, let's now join the closing moments of last week's matchup and let you see for yourself and you be the judge.
Right now, it's not to pin, but to hurt somebody. He doesn't care who it is. It just happens to be Terry Gordy. He's the free bird. He's got it. Gordy is lacerated. Dr. Death's big hands have opened up a large gash on Terry Gordy. And now it's Gordy with a pile driver. And these two big men have collided in the center of the squared circle. The crowd becoming so much involved in this confrontation. Here in Tulsa, another capacity crowd at the convention center as Gordy's face is a mask of Clarence. Williams is dazed. What a battle. Oh, Gordy went for a flying body press, and he has annihilated Carl Fergie. Dr. Death dropped down, but Gordy with that inside drop cradle. There's referee Tommy Gilbert in the ring. Thank goodness for the standby official as Fergie is helpless. Dr. Death has got Terry Gordy now with Tommy Gilbert. But Dr. Death and Gordy's foot is on the rope. Dr. Death with a partial stampede. Both referees have been knocked down, but the referee telling Dr. Death only a 2 count. It was only a partial stampede. Doc. The referee was hitting the face. It threw Doc's balance off, and now Gordy taking back over on Williams. It's all on the line right here, and you're seeing it right here on the UWF. Dr. Death, going to back suplex. Both referees are counting, and we've got a pinfall. I think we've got a new champion. The referees, both of them are down. Dr. Death has his hand up. The crowd is jubilant in Tulsa. Carl Fergie is holding Dr. Death's hand up. But Tommy Gilbert's one referee is signaling Dr. Death. We seem to have a difference of opinion here. Terry.
It's always been a policy of the UWF not to change a referee's decision due to videotape replay. Now in this case, we're going to try to clarify and confirm the referee's decision. On the left of your screen is Carl Fergie. He's counting both men down until Gordy raises his shoulder. So he calls an offensive fall against Dr. Death. And on the right side of your screen, Tommy Gilbert is counting Terry Gordy out because Dr. Death has his shoulder up. Both referees called a pinfall, when in fact, neither man was pinned.
Okay. I looked at the films. Both our shoulders was up. You can't cry over spilled milk. But I want that belt. That belt belongs to me. I want one bird. It doesn't matter what bird, but I want one bird down. It doesn't matter if it's in a cage, the parking lot, or in the crowd. I want my belt.
I'll tell you, after looking at the tape, it's just as close as it was week after week. It hasn't changed, or hour after hour looking at this tape. Without a doubt, both men had their shoulders up. A no decision, I think, was in order.
No decision. That is a proper ruling as far as I can, I have to agree with that. I also have to agree that it should be upcoming, that there should be a rematch scheduled right away with both men. And I also want to put in my own 2 bits here. Even though there was no decision in that match, it was very obvious to me, and I think to anybody that watched that match, that my partner and my good friend, Steve Dr. Death Williams, definitely took the battle to Terry Bam Bam Gordy. The way I look at it, he took Terry Gordy and marched him up and down his own bad street.
Probably the only people that would disagree with you are the Freebirds, and we're going to see one of the Freebirds in action after this timeout.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first at 235 pounds from Austin, Texas, Bobby Perez.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the music in the background will bring out momentarily Freebird Buddy Roberts, his opponent Bobby Perez in the ring. As Freebird Buddy Roberts walking by our podium here.
Keep walking, Robert.
Jim Ross and Ted DiBiase with you here, ladies and gentlemen, from the Tulsa Convention Center. Another tremendous crowd here for the television taping, and we'll be taping again in the very near future here. We'll keep you abreast of that. A lot of big action coming your way. We'll be talking about in the hour. It's a spectacular card.
From Bad Street, USA, Freebird Buddy Roberts.
The veteran of the fabulous Freebirds, there you see him, Buddy Roberts. And he's a man that is a veteran campaigner. He's had a match or 2 under his belt, Teddy.
That's right, Jim. I don't have to like the man, but you always have to give credit where credit's due. And Buddy Roberts is oftentimes referred to as the 3rd member of the Freebirds, the smaller guy, the lightest guy on the team, the one that takes a lot of the punishment on the team. But Buddy Roberts, in all fairness to him, is a very tenacious man. He's a very aggressive man. He's like a little rat, He gets you in the corner and then
gnaws away.
He gnaws away, and he enjoys hurting people. And as bad as I want to get Michael Hayes in the ring and put a strap into him, I wouldn't mind getting Buddy in there too. But Buddy's the kind of guy that you strap him, he might like it.
He just might like it. You're probably right there. And Buddy Roberts is certainly a man that has very little regard for his own personal safety and has no regard for his opponent's personal safety.
Which makes him that much more of a threat, because if a man is that reckless where he doesn't care about what happens to him, then he's liable to do anything in the world to you.
And Roberts and the Freebirds certainly looking forward to the dangerous yet lucrative to the winner 2-ring battle royals coming up.
Tell you what, Jim, they're not looking forward to it any more than Doc and I are. I mean, 2-ring battle royals are vicious matches. They're dangerous because you don't know who's coming at you from what direction and when. There's a lot of money at stake, but for Doc and I, as well as the money, which is always very important as professionals, it gives us an opportunity to get all 3 Freebirds in the ring at the same time.
Action in and out of both rings, and 50 grand riding on the winner. Those on your way. We'll tell you about it in the hour. Freebird Buddy Roberts now methodically taking apart young Bobby Perez, and Bobby Perez is being strolled down Bad Street, and it's not, the scenery's not too pleasant in there with Buddy, but it is very effective as Roberts is really educating this young man from Austin, Texas.
Buddy Roberts staying very poised. He takes his time, he's deliberate, he's enjoying what he's doing. He enjoys dishing out punishment.
I think that's an excellent point, Ted. He does enjoy inflicting pain, and as you mentioned, to a certain point, I think Buddy even gets into the pain himself. I've heard Cowboy Bill Watts mention that on numerous occasions. Buddy is just a little off balance, folks. He's just, you know, to be very honest with you,
he's a few cents short of $1, Jim.
Yeah. Perez showing some fight here. Look at Roberts backing into the corner. He's raised the ire of this young man from Texas, from the state capital in the Lone Star State. Freebird Buddy Roberts goes for a ride to the corner. Perez looked like he was setting for a bulldog headlock maybe, but Roberts pushed him right off.
Don't ever get too overconfident with any Freebird, because you're writing your own ticket to defeat.
Well, Buddy Roberts,
that's it, Jim.
He's dominated this young man. The sadistical Buddy Roberts, the veteran member of the Freebirds, impressive on the Universal Wrestling Federation. My thanks to Ted DiBiase for being with us.
Always a pleasure to be here, Jim. Thank you.
Teddy, best of luck to you in the upcoming weeks in the big battle royals. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. The television title will be on the line. Terry Taylor and the giant one-man gang right after this timeout. Welcome back to the Universal Wrestling Federation, everyone. Thanks very much for staying with us. Michael P.S. Hayes has joined me.
The star of the show is here now. You know, I had to adjust his headset. DiBiase's got a head like a watermelon. He almost stretched it out. But now I know, ladies, you've been waiting, but the star of the show is back. So now we can roll on, baby.
You finished?
No, I'm not finished.
Well, we're going to have the television title matchup. I wanted to ask your thoughts on that situation, Terry Taylor and the one-man gang. But seeing as though that you are going to be a little bit hesitant on your comments, let's go to the ring.
Good. I'll say what I want when I want.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing of Devastation Incorporated at 465 pounds from Chicago, the one-man gang.
Devastation Incorporated very well represented in the ring with Bad Leroy Brown, Savannah Jack, General Skandar Akbar, Wild Bill Irwin absent tonight. But Terry Taylor, what a challenge for this man, defending the television title right here on the UWF.
Yeah, but Jim Ross, first of all, I should be the TV champion. You know I got ripped off 2 weeks ago when I wrestled him. But more important than that,
introducing his opponent from Vero Beach, Florida at 235 pounds, the current UWF television champion, Terry Taylor. This match, one fall of television time remaining.
Well, now that Motor Mouth's through, I'll finish what I got to say. Bam Bam's still the champ. You can look at them videotapes any way you want. The NFL's doing it now. He got his shoulder up first, and that's all I've got to say on that. If they want a rematch, he'll get the same thing. And talking about matches, I'm gonna get that DiBiase, and I'm gonna strap him and make the welts on his back as big as his head is.
I'll tell you, looking at the match at hand, Savannah Jack, boy, somebody needs to tell him how to wear his color coordination.
Does he think this is Miami Vice or what?
But Terry Taylor has not only the one-man gang to contend with, and this is, okay, Michael asked me, answer me this one question.
All right.
Why is it, in your opinion, is Akbar and his whole entourage at ringside. Why are they there right now? What do you really think's on their mind?
Well, obviously, I think one thing is to give him some moral support. He's definitely oversized, you know, Terry Taylor. What? He's got to have him by almost 200 pounds at least. I also think that they're trying to throw a little, what you call a direction hint towards our way, that they're building an army and they're ready to take over the top ladder. But we're still here. I know there's a lot of other people. As you see, every week there's new wrestlers fluctuating to the UWF. It's where the money is, and that's what we're all in the sport for. I don't know that One Man Gang would need any motivation. To have that title would put him up in the #1 ranking, which would put him right up against the champion, and still champion, Bam Bam. He went for a behind, simple amateur move, but Gang's waistline being around 60, you can't put your arms around him like that and take him down.
I don't think Manute Bowl could get his arms around the One Man Gang.
Clean break. Clean break. Oh, no. Terry Taylor is a very tenacious and a very good wrestler. He's a punk, but he knows what he's up against, and he's thinking constantly.
He's the #1 contender for the UWF Heavyweight Championship. Obviously the One Man Gang. The #2 contender on the top 10. A classic meeting here, 1 against 2. Where else but on the Universal Wrestling Federation?
You know, you stole the words right out of my mouth. Last week you got the title match. This week you have 1 against 2. Not to mention the fact you got P.S. Hayes out here for all the ladies.
Well, if we have time in this hour, we're going to bring you some footage of Valet for a Day. I think you'll find most entertaining with Missy Hyatt.
Well, I thought last week's footage with Missy and Johnny Tatum was quite interesting myself. I mean, I told you that thing was you know, dynamite from the beginning.
Well, you were right about that one.
And I think you helped instigate it.
No,
I think if a lot of people would have kept their mouths shut, dressing room rumors, good arm twist.
Taylor has got to have a superb game plan for this.
Whoa!
Oh, the what?
Off his feet! Off his feet and driving that knee. Once he's down on the mat, he's the same size as any man. Terry Taylor is obviously at the high pitch of his career right now. Knows what he's up against.
If he's intimidated by Akbar's Devastation Incorporated
it
ringside,
ain't showing.
It's not showing. It certainly isn't.
But he better keep an eye on him.
I noticed when they walked by here, they had a few things to say to you too, Michael.
Yeah, and I had a few things to say too, but you couldn't put them on air. You see, when Bam Bam went out there, he went out by himself and did the match by himself. You didn't see me and Buddy standing in his corner, hovering over, bringing, you know, big men out to intimidate people. Because we don't have to gang up on people. We beat people up just because we enjoy it and get paid for it.
Taylor has the big man, 6'9", 465, and growing, according to General Akbar.
What he's doing here, because you wouldn't know, you're not a wrestler, is he's keeping him down there with the leverage of driving his 230 pounds or 225, whatever Terry Taylor is, and that puts the pressure on the back of the arm, on the tricep muscle, and I don't care how big you are, man, if it hurts, you can't move.
We would certainly like to see everybody this Sunday afternoon at this Sunday in Oklahoma City at the Myriad this Sunday night. Special time in Oklahoma City.
That's a mistake. You got him up to his feet. Whoa!
Well, there's
465.
That's it.
Hello.
I'll tell you, he's probably the quickest big man I've ever seen, and big meaning the super heavyweight. And clubbing forearm, Terry Taylor now. And this is something that Taylor, I'm sure, wanted to avoid quite obviously, not to get into a slugfest with the gang, because look what's happening.
Well, slugfest with the gang would be like the Chicago White Sox playing the New York Mets, man. No contest. Good move. Good move. That's where he's probably got the thing over the gang is the head game, man, the psychology. He's thinking, and Gang is always using brute strength. A drop kick almost got him going. Got him now. He better jump on it. There's Savannah Jack jumping up. He's got a hold of him. He shouldn't have diverted his attention. Whoa! Nice move. He's got the sleeper. Savannah Jack's down. He's got the sleeper. Can he put 465 pounds to bed? He's down to one knee. One time the arm went down. Second time, I think he's got him. There's Bad Leroy Brown. Well, you wanted to know why they were out there. Now you know.
It looks like they had a trap set for Terry Taylor all along. Terry Taylor.
Look at the one-man gang trying to recover. I think he had him almost out.
Taylor almost had the gang out, but look what has happened.
Whoa, there goes Carl Fergie over the top. They're going to try to hurt Taylor.
They're trying to put Taylor out of action.
Here comes Ronnie West. Here comes some other wrestlers. Here comes Tommy Gilbert trying to stop it. They're trying to crush Taylor. If they can't get this shot at the #1 title in the universe, they're going to beat everybody up. Here comes DiBiase, the Iceman, and Chavo Guerrero. This might have an impact.
Ted DiBiase's out there. The troops are on the way. There's more help. Akbar's Devastation Incorporated. Now they don't like the odds. But man, they had it 4-on-1 on Terry Taylor. And Taylor has been busted. He's been busted open at the hands of Devastation Incorporated.
I guess so. You got 3-4 guys that size pounding on you. The skin's got to give, baby, and the blood's going to come.
Terry Taylor retains the television title.
I think they blew it, Jim. I think they blew their chance at that number.
Welcome back, everybody. The crowd's still buzzing here after the UWF television title really broke down into a very dangerous situation for Terry Taylor. He did retain the title via disqualification.
It's dangerous all the time. I want to see this footage here, man, because correct me if I'm wrong, I understand that this isn't all the Dark Journey put Missy Hyatt through. This is just a portion of it because she had a surprise for the fans.
She does have a surprise for the fans.
Well, I just want to say one thing about it, okay?
Okay.
Dark Journey, I haven't forgotten weeks ago you slapped me. And I just want you to know that's in the back of my mind, okay? But besides this, I think like you and all the dressing room rumors started the whole breakup between Hyatt and Hot Stuff when they were on a roll.
I didn't cause their problems. There's a lot deeper rooted problem than that. Multiple problems, I think, involved in the camp of Hyatt and Hot Stuff International.
You urged it along.
Well, the cameras were there, ladies and gentlemen. We had a lot of fun on this one.
Yeah, I bet you had a lot of fun.
Let's see it now.
You're sick.
I'm glad you folks can make it. I'm just about to start my little cleaning party. I have a whole list of things here for Missy Hyatt to do. Why don't you just start in the living room where you are in those windows and make sure you get around the ledges. Because remember, I'm going to break out my white glove. She doesn't do anything for anybody else, so now that I have her for a valet for a day, I'm going to make sure she does something for me. So why don't you just get started?
You know, I'm really glad the cameras are here, just so all you people can see what you are, Dark Journey, to make me do this kind of stuff. I hate you. This ain't fair. I don't even know whose idea this was to make me do this kind of stuff. I hate you. I hate everybody. Shouldn't have to do this. It wasn't my idea to do this Valley of the Dare.
Well, that's the windows. Let's see, what do we have here? Well, Link and I usually do our cleaning up in the ring, but let's see. Blisters coming up on those hands yet? I would go to the knees, but let's work on your arms. Why don't you get the vacuum and start right where you are.
I just can't believe John lost this match and it's gonna make me have to do all these things I just can't imagine, and I don't even know how to start this thing. John! This is awful! I hate it! Roy, do this! Oh, I hate this.
Let's see, vacuuming's done. Now that your arms are warmed up, let's see, we have the dishes here to do. Well, I hope you folks are enjoying this, because I know I am. I'm having a great time at my house cleaning party. Let's see. Now I have dishes to do. Okay, why don't you start with this pan, because let's start with the aluminum. I have a thing for reusing foil. And you can start with that, and let's see. Well, let's see. I'll hurry up and drink this, and then you can wash this too.
I just can't believe now I'm gonna have to wash dishes. I mean, this is awful. If I get my dress messed up, that's really gonna be it. That is really gonna be it. I can't believe this, Johnny. I cannot believe that he lost, and I cannot believe you, Dark Johnny, making me do this. Yeah. If I mess up my hands, God. Ow, I think I'm messing up my nail polish. Gosh. This is awful. I hate this. God.
Dishes. Okay, let's see. Now that your hands are still wet, why don't you grab that can of cleanser over there and let's head off to the bathroom. Remember I was talking about your knees? Well, let's go work on those for a while. Come on.
Well, this is it. Good, this is it, Dark Journey. I tell you what, this is the last straw. You're gonna get it. I'm gonna. I tell you what, I can't believe Missy Hyatt's having to do this kind of stuff. I mean, Johnny, one of the girls at the country club could see me now having to do this. Ow! I hate you. Ooh.
Let's see, I got windows, vacuum, dishes, bathtub. Well, let's see. God, you look a mess. It looks more like it though. Let's see. Valet for a day. I know you people have to be enjoying this as much as I am, but you'd really enjoy it if you were right here. Jeez. I have, let's see, a little over an hour left for you. I think I'll save that. I have a very, very special chore for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing at 235 pounds from St. Louis, Missouri, the Iceman, King Parsons. And at 230 pounds from El Paso, Texas, Chavo Guerrero.
Chavo Guerrero now making his home in Orange County, California. Folks out there watching us on KCOP every Saturday morning, the Iceman. We're glad to have those folks along in his hometown of St. Louis on KDNL every Saturday morning. You know, you were talking to me as we waited on Rick Stiener and Sting to be out here just a few moments. We're talking about rumors.
Yeah, what about it?
Well, I heard a song on the radio today about rumors, and there was some in there, a lyric about Michael.
Hey, wait a minute. That's not Michael PSA. They're talking about Michael Jackson. You know who they're talking about. Don't get smart with me, Ross.
To clarify, I'm just trying to show you my musical knowledge, Michael. I'm trying to really elevate myself to your level, rock and roll-wise.
Yeah. Well, you can't compare.
Sting and Stiener.
Stiener, you know, in the dressing room, I heard Rick Stiener mention to somebody else. He really doesn't understand. His career's on the upswing with Hot Stuff International now that they're separated.
I have a very important statement I would like to make. It has come to my attention that Missy Hyatt has made the statement that she would like for Hot Stuff and Hyatt International to once again merge together. Well, my answer to that is, as long as Missy Hyatt listens to that hot-headed bimbo, Holly Goose, John Tatum, that will never come about. Ladies and gentlemen, Hot Stuff International is very proud now to introduce to you, first, at 275 pounds, from every man's nightmare, Sting! And also, 265 pounds, from Detroit, Michigan, Rick Stiener! Ladies and gentlemen, this match, one fall, our television time remaining.
Well, you know, if you ask me, from the plea, and that's what I'd call it, pleading or begging, Eddie Gilbert's heartbroken over the fact that she chose the man that brought her to where she got. She's the #1 lady in wrestling today, and she's not with him. He might be smiling right there, but by making that plea, says to me that he wants her back. but Hollywood's got her.
Yeah, he also had a couple of pretty darn pointed things to say to Hollywood John Tatum.
Called him hot-headed.
Hey, Dark Journey called him Hollyweird. I heard.
Hey, I told you what I thought about Dark Journey, and I got a lot more things I could say about her, but I won't say it on the air. I don't want to ruin the #1 show in the country.
Will you tell me later?
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
All right.
I'll write it in pencil so you can give it to her. 2 good tackles by Sting there. Eddie Gilbert has definitely took these 2 premier athletes, and not just bodybuilders, he's taught them how to wrestle. He hasn't taught them just to use their strength. He showed them that you got to have coordination to be a wrestler.
2 great young power lifters, great athletes as well. That's the important thing.
Whoa, and there's a tackle back. There's another one. Iceman, no slouch at all.
Does Buddy Roberts hate anybody in the world more than he hates Iceman King Parsons that you know of?
Yeah, probably the people at the Jack Daniels Distillery, because they'll never invite him to the yearly party. Besides them, no. He's never forgot what happened, and he never will. And anything that bothers Buddy bothers me, and it bothers the champ. Bam, bam.
Quite a test here for Eddie Gilbert's Sting and Stiener duo against the veteran team of Iceman King Parsons and Chavo Guerrero.
Now, Stiener from the University of Michigan, as we all well know, accomplished amateur wrestler. Good arm drag and twist and good tag. Now here you talk about a veteran. There's one right there in Chavo Guerrero.
Orange County, California, Chavo Guerrero.
You know what? He can't make up his mind where he wants to live because they keep running him out of each city. Good reversal. Whoa, what a clothesline by Rick Steiner. Good move.
He's a stallion. Oh, I tell you, he is a stallion.
Good elbow. Now see that? What a change. 2 months ago, he would not have been thinking 2 moves ahead like that. But ever since he got under Eddie Gilbert's wings, he's thinking. Whoa, good jump up savant kick. And I mean, it floored Sting.
Guerrero with that Hispanic tipper, and he's fired up.
Whoa, and right back. Look at that. Now see, that is physical chess. Psychology at its best.
Wait a minute, Hollywood John Tatum.
I don't believe it.
And victory, they just hit the ring.
Come from? And they're going at it.
Tatum.
He must have heard it on the monitor when he was knocking him. This is a fight for a woman. Sting's got him. Wait a minute, Missy Hyatt's running down.
Missy Hyatt just bounced by here. There she goes to the ring.
This is exactly the right word. Look at Hollywood, Tatum, and Eddie Gilbert going at it. Jack Victory and Steiner.
The referees are helpless.
Guerrero and Iceman are just cheering them on, saying kill each other.
What?
Look at Hollywood, look at all over abroad, I can't believe it.
Listen,
there's 100,000 of them out there, guys. Why fight over one?
Listen to Missy plead with him on the PA.
She's begging him.
She doesn't know it. She's, you know, this thing is really broken down. Look at her. Take the mic away from her, please.
She's torn up, see?
The referee's trying to get this thing in order.
She just told them both if they don't stop, she'll have nothing to do with either one of them. Well, now, I can't believe a woman would have that much power over men.
Look at Guerrero and the Iceman. They're just, you know, hey, beat each other up. We don't care. Missy's getting Tatum out of the ring.
I can't believe they stopped fighting just for her.
Well, she said
they started fighting for her.
She made a quit. Look at her. Look at Eddie. Looking back at Eddie, and John is dragging her out of the ring.
She looks like she wants to go. It looked like she might have wanted to go back to Gilbert. She can't make up her mind. Tatum, and they just pulled her off here.
And there you see the winners. They called a disqualification, apparently. Eddie Gilbert's heartbroken. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with closing comments on the Universal Wrestling Federation. Thanks for staying with us, ladies and gentlemen. Only a few moments here left in the program. It's been an exciting hour.
A vicious love triangle, man. I don't know why anybody would let any broad ruin them like that.
Well, she is certainly playing a very important part in the careers of John Tatum and Eddie Gilbert at this time. Also, ladies and gentlemen, next week we'll be broadcasting from WrestleFest 2, the Tulsa State Fair. Hacksaw Duggan will be back with us next week, as will the Fantastics. It's going to be another great hour.
Oh, it's going to be a great hour because we'll be here. You know, who cares about Hacksaw Duggan returning? Who cares about the Fantastics? The Freebirds, we made this place what it is today, man. But I just cannot get over 2 guys formed together, making a beautiful corporation, and over broad, over love, this happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope to see you this Sunday night in Oklahoma City at the Myriad, this Tuesday night in Little Rock at the gigantic Arkansas State Fair. Please be with us right here next week on this great television station.
I'm going to have to talk with him.
For Michael P.S. Hayes, I'm Jim Ross. We'll see you next week, everybody.
I can't believe it.